17. Hope you had a good long weekend. Then some friends of mine and I went out to the Badlands area. A friend of mine's cousin had a 1,200-yard gun range out there, so you gun enthusiasts, we were shooting at 760 yards. I shoot a .338 Lapua Magnum. My friend was shooting a 300 Win Mag, and we were clipping this target out there at 760 yards. Always a good time if you are into the shooting sports. And on that, where are we at the auditorium? I talked to Kevin Halliday the other day. He said the auditorium gun range is ready to go. He told me to go look at the floor upstairs. They were sanding it. I would hope to get the gun range open fairly soon, especially on rainy days. The weekend would have been nice for people to go down there and sharpen their skills. But again, we were promised from our old city administrator it would have been open a long time ago, and here we are. So that's the way that works. Let's go with a little random shot here again. I got a letter from some people on my Candy Wrapper email about the Recall Ron business. They said, what is wrong with the people and where are we headed with this Recall Ron BS? I don't understand that we have people first upset with the payout over the separation of Miss Stevens, and Dennis and Audrey are worried about what it's going to cost the city and taxpayers. And this person said, well, what's this recall election going to cost the city taxpayers? Nobody knows. I know it's only starting, but it's been publicly stated by Bev Doherty that the other 4 council people are next in line. I'm amazed that the mayor would not back Ron and even goes as far as stating publicly that Ron should take this as a wake-up call. Well, there's a lot of us in my hood in Ward 2 that aren't happy on the way this has gone down. But this recall business is getting out of control, and I think the Recall Ron committee people that were out there pushing run into some opposition, because I was told from some of my neighborhood people that they told them to get their carcass off their yard, and that's just a nice way that I'm putting it. So there's a lot of people out there for you, Ron, that support you. I got my hat on, RC supporter. You know, got my sign here. And it says, again, this recall campaign isn't personal, like I said, Mike, but it is. It's a conspiracy. It's revenge for a supposed comment Ron had made to this one gal. And it's really sad that when we go to vote and we vote somebody in, that it doesn't stand. We have the poor losers out there using this recall crutch to try to get their way and to pad the council so they get their way. But again, that's the way Willmar works. Kudos on Willmar school support. That one, of course, that comes from the Tribune. You know, I don't know how it passed, because I've talked to so many people and heard from so many people that voted against it. Either they didn't vote correctly or something's awry here. It doesn't fit. And then I was told last night that they're going to try to push a referendum for the field houses. Give me a break, people. We can't. The whiteboard total is $173.5 million. Where's that money coming from? And you people that voted for that school bond referendum that do not have a good job, but you maybe have 4 or 5 kids in school, again, that's not my problem. Now you've made it my problem. I don't like it. I am on a fixed income, as a lot of seniors. Why does this happen? Willmar has to have new all the time. Can't make do. And we've been making do. So things are crowded. How about your houses? Do you have enough room in your house for everything? In your garage for everything? You make do. But that's because it's your dime. Now, when it's my dime and everybody else's dime, you vote for it. You that voted for it. I don't get it. But again, that's the way Willmar works. So, let's move on. We got man argues for lesser sentence on criminal sexual conduct charge. Again, why does not our Mayor Calhoun, so I'm going to call him from now on, it's just my opinion, no disrespect, I'm just not happy with the way he's been going, but hey, show me something different, Calhoun, and I'll call you Mayor Calvin. It's again my opinion, as this show is based on my opinion. But we have so much sexual conduct charges in this area. It's unbelievable. Let's address it. Let's hear about it. No, we got to talk about these schools and push $50-some million down people's throat, and another 22 here and another 20 there. And let's talk about the real issues. What's going on here? Just remember, if it was your kid, it'd be a different story. If it was my kid, it'd definitely be a different story. Records published. Let's get caught up on that. Like I say, the only time you hear about it is if you read it in the paper or on my program. Nobody else talks about it. Why? Again, I don't understand it. I don't know. Pennock, they had a gun and some speakers stolen. And a 9mm Smith & Wesson handgun and Dodge subwoofer box with 2 kickers. That was in Pennock. And there was arrest, 19-year-old Willmar man for domestic assault. Involved dangerous weapon and strangulation. Now, for you people that keep talking about demographics of Willmar, calling me racist and stuff, we have problems in this town, and that's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, you guys like to twist up, just like the Recall Ron committee. They're trying to dig up stuff, and they said they're archiving all this info and stuff. Let me tell you what, I'm archiving. Somebody left this in my door. This is from one of my favorite Facebook friends, police record. We'll get to that a little later here. So, you're archiving, we're archiving. You got skeletons in your closet, they're coming out. That's just the way it is. Public information, boom, we got you. But again, this stuff is, here's another one. 29-year-old man arrested over the weekend, domestic assault. Another one, so you just keep going. Here's a Spicer one. 37-year-old woman, victim of domestic assault. It just never ends. Had a couple plane crashes and sinks in Lake Minnewaska, down in Glenwood. But otherwise, people, the main thing we always have in the paper here is thefts and domestic assaults. We've got to remember, if it deals with certain people in town, we don't hear about it because they don't want to stir things up. So when I talk about the demographics of Willmar, everybody, it's kind of shielded so we don't get the facts. It's happening here. Trust me, I know. How I know? Because I dig. Here's a letter to the editor from Steve Persh. You know, I used to kind of like Steve, but through this Recall Ron stuff, I think our friendship's pretty much over. What he does is uncalled for, but that's Steve. But hey, he's got in here, says that Joe Riddler at the last meeting accused Mayor Calvin of orchestrating Administrator Stevens' separation from the city. Calvin said he did that. Steve, what is it you don't get? He's on the Recall Ron committee, so he likes to twist his little things around. And I don't know if he writes this himself. He's got his name on it. Doesn't always mean he wrote it. But he's got these questions in here that are just, what is Christensen hiding? Ron isn't hiding anything, Steve, and you know that. The other thing is, this guy, Steve Hirsch, his buddy, Jason Doherty on Facebook, says that Willmar has become a national embarrassment. Well, it seems to me that Steve's dad was the president of the bank when the Willmar 8 incident happened back in, what was that, 1973, if I remember right? And that was a national embarrassment. And those girls, I give them all the credit for standing their ground. They never did get their full compensation, what they were after. Yeah, they got some airtime and brought it to Willmar. But whose dad, whose bank caused this? How quick we forget. I was totally embarrassed back at that time what was going on. Different story, huh, Steve? Yeah, think about it. Here's one from Jacqueline Kane. Recall Ron stand was inappropriately placed. On the corner, at a business, where it blocked traffic. This lady said she couldn't hardly see. She lived over in that area, went by there a few times. You know, again, shouldn't have been there. Not because I'm against the recall. It's just not appropriate when you have that much traffic there. There was an accident, and this guy on Facebook made a big deal. about this lady that had the accident. Matter of fact, the sign that was in her car I made a long time ago when this first started going on. But don't be picking on people because they had an accident. She did not flip a U-turn in the intersection like you stated. See, this guy on Facebook, Jason Doherty, always twists the facts because he wants to be so right and pull you people in. What's his name? Suckered in. Or the saying, suckered in, whatever. Willmar's dealing with pure democracy. No, they're not. Yeah, they might have the right, but what? Democracy is voting November 7th for these candidates, and when the term's up, putting your person in there and see if they can win. But what happens? You're a poor loser. You get 5 people together, form a committee because your guy didn't get in there or your gal, and you pull this recall. Give me a break. That is a pure democracy. I wasn't brought up that way. There's no respect here. And the Tribune says it's important for all to respect the process. Not all. You see some of the stuff that's written on their website, Recall Ron, and I'd be safe to say that Jason Doherty is their website manager. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to that one. Pretty coincidental, little stuff that's coming back and forth. Anyway, people, it's a sad time for Willmar. It's breaking up friendships. It's breaking up neighborhoods. It's dividing churches. It's not the correct thing to be doing, and the way they're doing it. But like I said, they met some good opposition in my hood, and I love it. Let's go to this one. Ron Christensen violated the law when he drove around barricades and through a restricted area that was established to protect the public and whatever. You know, I talked to Ron about this. He pulled up his iPad, opened it up, put Google Earth on there, and explained to me what happened that day. Showed me all the routes he went.
Google Earth.
He didn't do anything wrong. Once he came up around that last turn, when he went on an adjacent road, the fire chief was sitting there, and Ron said he waved to him. I got to believe Ron. Sorry. You guys believe what you want, I believe what I want. I've known Ron for many years, a lot longer than you guys have. And he said the fire chief waved to him, never tried to stop him. Road wasn't blocked off. He was just sitting close to the corner. Now, if it was such a restricted area, why wasn't there personnel there and more barricades so nobody could get into that area except the workers? And another thing is, my friend was running the backhoe, and he never saw Ron whatsoever. Never saw Ron enter the area, or even never saw him once. Now, wouldn't you think he'd be having his eye open for any perpetrators coming into this so-called restricted area? And you're saying Ron put people in harm's way? How secure was that area? Yeah, you got a diesel backhoe out there that doesn't have spark plugs, but it's got electronics on it. You got guys with their cell phones. Who knows what could happen there? How restricted was it? How many personnel were out there? Again, Ron was not in the wrong. You guys, he got a warning. Didn't get ticketed. But one of the guys here on this committee, I got a deal here. He went, where is it? In 2013, drove over, around, or through a barricade. So, that guy's on the committee, works with the committee. Different? No, it's not different. Barricade's a barricade. That one, he went around. This one, Ron didn't go around it. It was not blocked. Always different, isn't it? I don't get it. So let's move on a little bit. There's a lot of comments being made on Facebook. I got some here. I just don't want to go to them right now. I'm going to go back to this unknown Willmar council member idiot insult. Well, like I said, too bad. That's the way I feel about this character. It's my opinion. He's made some snide comments on other people's Facebook pages, and a little bit of karma came back, snapped them, didn't like it. Too bad. You know, I listened to this with a professional, we had headphones on, about 10 times. And that comment that was made was not made. It was close, but it's not verbatim, verbatim. Like I said, look up the two terms. Anyway, so the one that they're saying that was said is not correct in my eyes. I listened to it. Like I said, we slowed it down. We listened to everything. Hey, if you're going to state something, state it correctly. But that's the way Tribune, Left Central Spittoon, excuse me, this Facebook moron, put stuff on there. They never put it correctly. Why? It's not interesting. So anyway, make a big deal out of nothing. Like I said before, president does it, national news people do it, but people in Willmar don't have a right to speak their mind. Only certain people. I'm speaking mine, and I'm going to keep speaking it for a long time. City values here. I got to print out. It's kind of interesting. You people that voted for the school bond referendum, they really can't afford it, but you want it for your multiple kids you have going to school. The City of Willmar total tax exempt properties. Well, these are all the properties that we aren't getting anything out of, tax-wise. The total is $341,000,000, about $340,000. You put that, getting no tax from that, and then $53 million on that school alone, it doesn't add up, people. But you entitled people out there and greedy people that think, hey, I just don't think it's fair that everybody else should be paying for your kids. Sorry. It's the way it used to be. I paid for mine. I know a farmer doesn't have any kids at all. He's going to be spending a big money deal on this. He voted no, but he's getting tapped now. A friend of mine only has 500 acres out by the school. It's costing him $20,000 extra. How would you people that don't have a very good job like to get tapped that? Different story, because it isn't coming back directly at you, and you're probably getting some public assistance to help you pay, and it's not a big deal because everything else is paid for by us, the taxpayer. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Here's another one. Downtown commercial value summary. 47 parcels. I don't know how much that's changed. This is 2015. From 2011 to 2015, property values went down $200,000. A little bit more than that. So, the downtown, such a good spot. You think that values would be up? They're dropping. Numbers of homesteads in Willmar, 4,464. Down 550 in 6 years. Number of rentals have gone up by 1,200. So what's that tell you, people? People are moving out of the area, renting their houses out to who? There is affordable housing. Oh, maybe it's too expensive for certain cultures here. It's the same for everybody, but certain ones like to complain. But it's telling you, people are moving out of this area with all these rental houses. Building permits issued went up 36 in 1 year from 2013 to 2014, and the value of with the building permits was down by $750,000. So permits were up, but less things were getting done money-wise. New homes, 2013 there was 13 built, 2014 11 built. So you can say what you want about Willmar. If we can believe the facts, this comes right from the city, so we got to believe it. Things are kind of deteriorating a little bit. I've got two goddaughters, and one I hadn't seen for a while because she's been gone. Said, Bob, remember when we used to watch Sesame Street? I said, yeah. I remember. She said, you know that guy that writes about you on Facebook? You know he reminds me of? And I said, who? Oscar the Grouch. He said, yeah, I could probably see that. I said, why do you think that? Because he lives in a garbage can. I said, there you go. What can I say? Just thought it was pretty cool that she just kind of stuck in with that. I want to mention a women's shelter again, all this domestic violence I talked about at the beginning of the show again happening. Women's Safe Avenue in Willmar. Phone number 222-2215. Again, please call if you're being abused. It's not the way life's supposed to be. But people get abused in this town, verbally, physically, whatever. And they seem to get by with it because, I don't know, people don't care or they just... And again, Candy Rapper at charter.net. Like to hear from you. When I was gone on Rapid, I pulled it up. I tried to answer somebody, but on their computer I couldn't reply. So that's just the way that one went. I'll pull some up, look at it when I get home, and if I can reply, I'll do it. I always want to reply, no matter if it's 1 word or 50 words. It's just, I want to reply. At one of the city council meetings, I think it was, what was his name, Aaron Welch, whatever, was reading some stuff, or was it Wayne? I don't remember, one of the two. Anyway, but I got one here for you. If you've written an editorial to the West Central Spittoon, and they have not been published, you're not alone. If you think Moving Willmar Forward Group has just become the Recall Ron Group, you're not alone. If you think that it's a coincidence that Wayne Nelson is a spokesman for the Recall Ron Group and was a spokesman for Moving Willmar Forward Group, you're not alone. If you think Wayne Nelson is a spokesman for a shadow group that wants to control Willmar without being elected, you're not alone. If you think that the new mayor of Willmar is part of the Recall Ron Group, you're not alone. If you think that the Recall Ron Group created division, anger, distrust, and is bad for Willmar, you're not alone. If you're tired of the lies, hatred, character assassination, belittling, bastardizing, and outright meanness that Wayne Nelson and his Recall Ron Group portray at the council meetings, you're not alone. If you're not happy about the Recall Ron Group trying to change an election that took place 7 months ago, you're not alone. There's a few more. Well, maybe I better read them. I got a couple minutes here. Do you stand behind the actions of the city councilor in their decision making and know that what they're doing is right for Willmar? You're not alone. If you think that Ken Warner, Kathy Schwantes, Gary Geiger, Ken Dean, Warren Erickson, the local League of Women Voters, our mayor, and others of the MWF Recall Ron Group are using Wayne Nelson as a pawn to further their own agendas, you're not alone. If you feel that this same group is bullying members of the city council, you're not alone. Well, hey, that's the way it is. That's the way things are going here. This has been kind of a Recall Ron political show this time, but like I say, Ron is a longtime friend of mine, and I don't like what's going on. Neither do a lot of people in my ward and my neighborhood. This needs to stop, needs to slow down, back off, quit dividing our community, our neighborhoods. It's not good. Sorry, that's just my opinion. And so anyway, I need to be going here. Got a few more things, but for the people on the Recall Ron committee and supporters, have you ever had a DWI, defaulted on a loan, had a child out of wedlock, affair with your boss, never paid some of your vendors, changed your business name due to problems with your business partners, had police calls to your house or place of residence, ticketed for driving around a barricade, ticketed for fishing without a license, ticketing for littering with a dangerous object on the highway, ticketed for failing to stop for a stop sign, call the police just because kids rang your doorbell and ran away, call the police because someone left garbage on your outside tables. There you go. Tell you what, until next time, Candy Rapper 18, let's try to clean up this mess, try to find a reason to smile. Thanks again. I always appreciate it.